independent broadcasting authority.
We're at Mass Media Complex, Ali King Carter Road, PO Box 32475, Lusaka, or call us on +260 211 250589 or visit our website at www.iba.org.zm. IBA, promoting ethical and professional broadcasting.
Welcome to Hope Channel Zambia Media that changes lives. Thank you so much for joining us on our news bulletin. Here are stories making headlines today. Lusaka Press Club and FPI condemns assault on journalist. Malende to receive power in Nangoma constituency. Senior Chief Muchinda sanctions land title verification. And Lusaka Conference celebrates pastors' ordination. These plus more stories are coming up shortly.
Mwami College of Health Sciences is inviting applications for the January 2026 intake. We are offering pre-service diploma programs in registered nursing, public health nursing, and direct entry midwifery, and in service diplomas in enrolled to registered nursing and registered nurse midwifery. To qualify, pre-service candidates must be 16 years or older, with a grade 12 certificate and at least 5 credits, including mathematics, English, and a science subject. In service, candidates must hold a professional nursing qualification, a valid practicing license, and academic qualifications. Applications are online only at www.mwamiconm.edu.zm. Before applying, prepare scanned and certified copies of your NRC, grade 12 certificate, and a bank deposit slip for $150 non-refundable fee, payable to Mwami College of Nursing, Access Bank, Chipata, account number 008040154216.
The deadline for receiving applications is on the 10th of October 2025.
For more information, call or WhatsApp 0975 303 331 during working hours or email registrar.mwami@marcos.com.
Thank you for joining us once again. My name is Mwene Muyanga and Sharona Kufuna is our sign language caster. The Lusaka Press Club has strongly condemned the assault of Zambia National Broadcasting and Corporation ZNBC journalist Mark Ziligone by individuals in uniform while he was covering a traffic accident along Lusaka's Ring Road. Mr. Ziligone posted on his social media platform that he was on official duty when he was attacked without provocation by men believed to be part of the security agency. The incident has sparked outrage among media circles and renewed concerns over the safety of journalists in Zambia. Lusaka Press Club President Edward Makai says the act is barbaric and unacceptable, stating that an attack on a journalist is an attack on press freedom and by extension on democracy. He added that men and women in uniform are expected to protect, not brutalize, members of the public, particularly those lawfully carrying out their professional responsibilities. Mr. Makai has called on the Zambia Police Command, the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security, and the Human Rights Commission to urgently investigate the matter and take decisive disciplinary and legal action against the perpetrators. Meanwhile, the Zambia Free Press Initiative, FPI, has also issued a strong condemnation following the report on the assault of ZNBC journalist Mark Ziligone by officers from the Zambia Security and Intelligence Services earlier today. FPI founder John Chirwa says the organization described the incident as shameful and unacceptable, emphasizing that such actions undermine the principles of democracy and freedom. According to the press statement, Mr. Ziligone had clearly identified himself as a journalist during the encounter, even presenting his press credentials, which the officer acknowledged before proceeding with the assault.
The Lusaka Press Club is deeply shocked and gravely concerned by the assault of Mr. Mark Ziligone, a journalist with the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation ZNBC, who was attacked by identified men in uniform while covering a road traffic accident along Ring Road. This barbaric act is not only an attack on one journalist, but also an attack on the freedom of the press, which is protected under international law. No journalist should be harassed, humiliated, or brutalized simply for doing their job. As Lusaka Press Club, we condemn this act in the strongest possible terms. The men and women in uniform have a duty to protect citizens, not to intimidate or brutalize them, least of all journalists carrying out their professional responsibilities in the public interest. We call upon the relevant authorities, including the Zambia Police Command, the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security, and the Human Rights Commission, to take swift and decisive action against the perpetrators of this shameful incident. The culture of impunity against journalists must come to an end. Respect for the press is respect for democracy itself. The Lusaka Press Club stands firmly with Mr. Mark Ziligone, popularly known as Bishop Okongolo, and all media practitioners who risk their safety daily to inform the nation. We urge government and security agencies to ensure that such incidents never repeat themselves.
Malende people of Nangoma constituency have breathed a sigh of relief with the progress of transforming into a hub of Smart Village project in collaboration between the Ministries of Science and Technology and Education, which has brought about a new era of opportunity to the community. The project features a cutting-edge solar plant with 96 panels generating 56 kilowatts of power, providing sustainable energy to key facilities like Malende Primary School, the market and surrounding areas. The residents have disclosed that the area has never had power, and the tower network, which marks a significant shifting in the area. The 40 days project is said to be nearing completion and will benefit surrounding areas.
The Malende Smart Village project in Nangoma constituency has brought significant transformation to the community. State-of-the-art solar plant equipped with 96 solar panels generating 56 kilowatts of power, providing reliable 24/7 electricity. Malende Primary School headmaster has thanked the government and the area member of parliament Colin Zovu for developing the area.
I appreciate the efforts done by the new Don government. The Honorable Minister is on the ground. He has visited us severally. So we really appreciate that we have such hard-working minister, our Honorable Minister, Mr. Colin Zovu. We really appreciate.
And Headman Chikoko has said this is the first time the area is receiving such progress.
Kulumba improvement iliko ya New Dawn UPND itogo sevenza ichanguzi muri kuno kumarende for the first time ndakonja kubona chimwe chinthu chidabwisha lero izvo chaba ichakusangu nakuza kubonekera kuno kuse wani chibadera batiyakirawa muchindi chishondo babona sumu kuranda kuba maraiti mu busena vanambuto kwamba vari kubona auma sora mbo vari kubika bamanija vanombotuvereso vatokusevenzera market vaanda kubika chigayo pamarket asi kutupa kusena panomputuvere paimikana rurumbu ndumwavona rutoyanda kubikwa chigayo echo yaro tishu inosevenzera chikoro na community yonse inoita benefit chigayo ichi
barumba be mupiri kutuleterako malaiti anthu omwe a network arusumpuko kuno kumarende kwamba kutandise ntchito twachana yakuti tisebenze kumarende wati
The solar plant will power Malende Primary School, teacher houses, clinic, and market, improving living conditions. The Malende Smart Village Project initiative aligns with Zambia's Vision 2030 and the National Electronic Government Plan 2023 to 2026, focusing on digital infrastructure and capacity building. Mebo Chitimbiti, Hope News, Nangoma, Central Province.
Senior Chief Muchinda Kankomba Welala 3 of Serenje District, Central Province, says all individuals holding title deeds and documents of occupancy for land and mines in his chiefdom must submit copies of their documents, along with consents from the chief for verification. Chief Muchinda has since paid tribute to Lands Minister Sylvia Masevo, who recently advised investors and farmers to obtain consent from the chiefs. The traditional leader said the documents should be submitted through Chairman of the Chiefdom Trustee Committee, Raphael Lesa, and Chiefdom Secretary Eliud Katioka within 14 days. He noted that without submission of consents from the chief, pursuant to Section 3 of the Lands Act, Chapter 184 of the laws of Zambia, the chiefdom will be left with no option but to confer legal redress. The senior chief explained that this directive follows several meetings held with Serenje District Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Land, Zambia National Farmers Union, and Serenje Town Council.
I, Kundat Senga, Senior Chief Muchinda of Muchinda Chiefdom, Kankomba Welala III, wish to inform all the people who have title deeds and the documents of occupants to the land and the mines in the Muchinda Chiefdom to submit copies of the title deeds with consents from the chief for verification through my chairman of the trust committee and Chiefdom Secretary Mr. Raphael Lesa and Mr. Eliud Katioka within 14 days. Furthermore, without submission of these consents from the chief, pursuant to Section 3 of the Lands Act Chapter 184 of the laws of Zambia, you leave us no room but to seek legal means. This ultimatum comes after several meetings held with the District Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Lands, Zambia Farmers Union, Serenje Council. During the meetings, the Chiefdom management has been having correspondences over a number of issues which have been developmental in nature and other challenges facing the subjects concerning land grabbing.
I, Raphael Lesa, the chairman for Senior Chief Kankomba Welala, Senior Chief Muchinda. I'm doing my submission on the findings on the land audit that we have been doing in Senior Chief Muchinda's chiefdom. Looking at the assignment that we have been given to see a number of issues that have been affecting the chiefdom concerning the land grabbing, illegal mining. Today I'm giving that report to the senior chief, looking at what is on the ground. And with my findings as the chairman, we have seen that 3/4 of the land that has been grabbed and being on title has been obtained without the chief's consent.
The Zambia NGO Wash Forum has noted that the 2026 national budget has allocated 2.69 billion kwacha to the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation, marking a nominal 9.4% increase over 2025. The forum, which is a network of 41 non-governmental organizations championing WASH, however, observed that despite the increase, the sector's share of the broader budget has slipped to 1.6%, down from 1.13% in 2025, and still well below the 8th National Development Plan benchmark of 3.5% for annual WASH sector investment. Zambia NGO WASH Forum Coordinator Bovala Uyowe Mumba emphasized that anchoring these concerns in a human rights framework is essential. Ms. Mumba stressed that safe drinking water and sanitation are fundamental human rights recognized by Zambia's national policy and international law. She warned that failure to adequately invest in equitable wash services undermines the state's obligation to progressively realize these rights for all, especially for the rural and urban poor. Ms. Mumba explained that right-based approach demands that sector strategies, resource allocation, and policy reforms prioritize dignity, equality, and inclusion, ensuring no one is left behind and that no discrimination in access is eliminated.
The 2026 national budget allocates 2.69 billion to the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation, marking a nominal 9.4% increase over 2025. However, despite this increase, the sector's share of the broader budget has slipped to 1.06%, down from 1.13% in 2025, and still way below the 8th National Development Plan benchmark for the annual wash sector investment. This persistent shortfall, coupled with an over-reliance on external financing, leaves Zambia's wash sector on what stakeholders are increasingly seeing as an undesired trajectory for achieving universal access. Anchoring these concerns in a human rights framework is essential. Safe drinking water and sanitation are fundamental human rights recognized by Zambia's national policy and international law, and failure to adequately invest in equitable wash services undermines the state's obligation to progressively realize these rights for all, especially for the rural and urban poor. A rights-based approach demands that the sector strategies, resource allocations, and policy reforms prioritize dignity, equality, and inclusion, ensuring that no one is left behind and that discrimination in access is eliminated.
You're watching the main news. Just now, we take a short break. We'll be right back.
Mwami College of Health Sciences is inviting applications for the January 2026 intake. We are offering pre-service diploma programs in registered nursing, public health nursing, and direct entry midwifery, and in service diplomas in enrolled to registered nursing and registered nurse midwifery. To qualify, pre-service candidates must be 16 years or older, with a grade 12 certificate and at least 5 credits, including mathematics, English, and a science subject. In service, candidates must hold a professional nursing qualification, a valid practicing license, and academic qualifications. Applications are online only at www.mwamiconm.edu.zm. Before applying, prepare scanned and certified copies of your NRC, grade 12 certificate, and a bank deposit slip for $150 non-refundable fee, payable to Mwami College of Nursing, Access Bank, Chipata, account number 008040154216.
The deadline for receiving applications is on the 10th of October 2025.
For more information, call or WhatsApp 0975 303 331 during working hours or email registrar.mwami@marcos.com.
We continue with the rest of the news. Acting clerk for the National Assembly of Zambia, Loveness Mayaka, says the National Assembly of Zambia and the German Bundestag have agreed to strengthen cooperation in planning and organization of plenary sessions. Ms. Mayaka, who was leading a delegation of staff from the National Assembly to the German Bundestag from 21st September to 27th September 2025, says a delegation looked at the German budget approval process and pointed out that Zambian Parliament has also rolled out sector analysis of the national budget. Speaking when she and her delegation paid a courtesy call on Zambia's ambassador to the Federal Republic of Germany, Her Excellency Winnie Chivezakunda, Ms. Mayaka said her delegation looked at how the Germany system has evolved, adding that several improvements in their system have been picked for incorporation to make the Zambian system more effective. And Ms. Mayaka has expressed gratitude to the German federal government for supporting the construction of 17 constituency offices in Zambia, noting that the development has helped people to engage with their members of parliament. And Ambassador Chibesakunda encouraged the National Assembly to involve more young people in Parliament and mentor them at an early age. She said participation of young people from an early age will help improve the quality of members in Parliament.
I led a delegation from the Zambian Parliament to the Bundestag. This trip was fully funded by the German Parliament, and it enabled us to exchange on a number of areas. Some of the areas that we looked at was the political history of the Bundestag and the administration of Parliament. I was able also to meet the Secretary General of the Bundestag, who is the head of the administration of their Parliament. We were able to also look at their budget approval process in the German Parliament. As you are aware, the Zambian Parliament has also fully rolled out sector budget analysis of its national budget. So we are here just to look at how the German system has evolved. We learned a number of improvements in their system, which we hope also to incorporate in our system so that we make it more effective. Apart from that, we were also able to visit a constituents office in the outskirts of the Berlin city. The German government has helped the National Assembly to build 17 constituents offices in Zambia. These have helped the constituents to meet their member of parliament and discuss a number of developmental issues. So we are here just to exchange their experiences on how they have enhanced the operation of these constituent offices. We were also able to take a tour of the Bundestag and see how the public engage in the work of the Bundestag. We were able to learn that they have done quite a lot in terms of reaching out to the public and also having young people get interested in the politics of the Bundestag. Though that is one area which we hope to also improve in the National Assembly, to see how we can attract a number of young people to get interested in the work of Parliament. So our program has ended today.
Smallholder farmers in Monze district have started accessing the inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program for the 2025-2026 agricultural season. This came to light when Agriculture Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, John Mulongoti, toured selected agro dealers in Monze contracted by government under the FISI program. Mr. Mulongoti expressed happiness that farmers are currently redeeming their codes and accessing inputs in readiness for the farming season. Speaking on behalf of the farmers, Purity Nchimunya of Kemba Agricultural Camp thanked government for the early distribution of inputs to farmers.
Smallholder farmers in Monze district who have made their 400 kwacha contributions have started accessing inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program for the 2025-2026 agricultural season. This came to light when Agriculture Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, John Mulongoti, toured selected agro dealers in Monze contracted by government under the FISIP program.
We've started in September so that by mid-December all the farmers out of the 1 million farmers we are targeting under the e-voucher are supported. So far, so good. Just to say thank you to the farmers.
Speaking on behalf of other beneficiary farmers, Purity Nchimunya of Kemba Agricultural Camp thanked government for the early distribution of imports. Both Director for Joloshi Investments Limited, John Luwasi, and Monze District Commissioner Mwanza Malambo weighed in on the subject.
We have collected fertilizer, seeds, and even all the other farm implements like the plows and the plowshares that we are all supplying. And also the agrochemicals, we have a number of them that we are also giving the farmers.
As a district, you shall have food, time and again, because when you see the input, they are here on time. Many of our farmers are getting ready to prepare their field.
Reporting, Lawrence Kabutu in Monze, Southern Province.
And finally, in our news today, 2 pastors in Lusaka Conference have been ordained to the service of the Lord after satisfying the requirements of a minister due for ordination. Pastor Roy Shiala of Shibuyunji Mission District and Mutaba Mission District Pastor Bristo Havunga were ordained last Sabbath at Mutaba campsite. Southern Zambia Union Conference Ministerial Director Dr. Silas Chavala said ordination is the ultimate confirmation that a minister has the required prerequisites to serve according to the standards of the church. The ordinands expressed gratitude to God and the church for making it possible for them to reach this far in their ministry. Ordination is an important act in the life of a minister of the gospel. It is a moment of complete setting apart for holy use, the conferring of authority on a minister of God, and an act of acknowledging God's call. Saturday, 27 September 2025 marked a remarkable day for pastors Bristo Havunga and Roy Shiala, who were ordained to the service of the Lord. Ordaining minister Dr. Silas Chavala said the ordination is the ultimate confirmation for a minister who has attained the required ministerial standards.
So the ordination is the ultimate confirmation that a given person has this package of the requisite gifts that are required to provide that kind of leadership. Before the ordination takes place, both the local church and the conference are not sure whether indeed what it takes to save that pedigree is available.
Lusaka Conference President Pastor Francis Chibia added that the ordination confers authority on a pastor to perform all ministerial functions.
Ordination of pastors, it simply means giving them authority to go and perform duties of an ordained minister, and that includes ordaining elders and deacons, and also baptizing members, and also conducting or officiating at weddings.
One of the ordinands, Pastor Bristo Havunga, could not hide his joy at the momentous occasion.
I can say that it is the hand of the Lord that has led me this far. Just as a young man, and God has allowed me to be ordained on this day.
Pastor Roy Shiala also shared his experience and expressed gratitude for God's calling on his life.
This implies that the church, God through the church, has really confirmed my calling. Yeah, so sometimes there's a lot of things that we do as pastors. We preach, we teach, and do all those things. Others have the capacity to do the same. But it takes a certain lens to assess and confirm ordination.
The ordination of ministers is an integral part of the growth of the church. It ensures that there are pastors who are fully empowered to carry out their sacred duties, thereby easing the operations and advancing the mission of the church. Mwene Muyanga reporting for Hope News, Shibuyunji. On that note, we end our news, but before we go, here are stories that made headlines. Lusaka Press Club and FPI condemns assault on journalist. Malende to receive power in Nangoma constituency. Senior Chief Muchinda sanctions land title verifications, and Lusaka Conference celebrates pastors' ordination. On behalf of the entire production team and crew, my name is Mwene Muyanga, and Sharon Akufuna has been our sign language caster. Pleasant viewing.